Say worry me no worry. This girl a Rosie don't want to dance with Blackie. And I'm his friends just start to laugh at me just a dance. Rosie, my friends are watching. Rosie, they will laugh off of me. Rosie, so can I have a dance? Rosie, Lord have mercy. Let me no fret and me say worry me no worry. We go the party just about a 7:30. I tell you Rosie don't want to dance with me. In front of me friends she a disgrace me. Ask her to dance and she give me the show. And in English, he show me no. Say hot and cold, this girl she a blow. Me take you Rosie, come and dance with me. Can I have a dance? Rosie, the friends are watching. Rosie, they will have my fun. Rosie, so can I have a dance? Rosie, Lord have mercy. Let me know better, me say worry me no worry. Let me know better, me say worry me no worry. This girl a Rosie don't want to dance with me. She can't go out and give us a
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united...
From politics to entertainment, business to culture, we have... From politics to entertainment, business to culture, we have got the inside scope. Join the conversation, stay informed, and be ahead of the curve. Don't miss FCT Today, every Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. on Citizens 93.7 FM Abuja. FCT Today, your window to the FCT every Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. on Citizens 93.7 FM Abuja.
This is our journey. We have had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brick every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM. A people united will never be defeated.
Good morning to you, 7:34 a.m. That's what the time is, and we are here. That is the 26th day of March 2025. So glad we're able to see the day. Wherever it is you're listening to me from, it is such a fantastic feeling knowing that you're tuned in and listening. Somehow, right, I just have in mind this morning to, talk to those who may be sick. Yeah, a hospital. You may be listening to me from a hospital right now. I just want to tell you that everything is going to be all right. Just keep hope alive. Keep faith alive. All right. We're here. Love and light your way. Citizen FM 93.7, and it's time for us to see what is happening across Africa. We have news from DRC. We also have information from Sudan. And yes, what's going on in what's it called now? In South Africa, there has been a response from the government of South Africa to what's going on in US of A. I mean, as it concerns their relationship. We'll also be looking at that in a bit. South Sudan also, we also have news from the country. So let's begin with, I don't know, should we start from the great news or the not so great news? All right, let's just get into it. So, there are reports that at least 54 people were killed in a military airstrike. Now, what is more sad is that this airstrike was on a local market in Sudan. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. There was an attack on a village in Sudan, Torah village. That's the name of the village. And that caused a massive fire. So far, so good. The people were trying to grapple with that reality when they heard about the new airstrike. But they know that the Sudanese military has denied targeting civilians. So they said that, yes, there was an airstrike, but it was not targeted. It's not like they set in mind to, come down hard on civilians. So the allegations that the airstrike was intended, the military has tagged it incorrect. But some civil rights group have condemned the strike. They called it a war crime due to the impact that it had on the populated area. More than half of the victims were women, according to reports, and at least 23 others were injured. Sudanese War Monitor, that's what they are called, Sudanese War Monitor. They accuse the military, saying that there is no way they're going to explain that the killing of hundreds of people in that airstrike was not intended. The Emergency Lawyers Group, the lawyers group, they document abuses by both sides in Sudan's civil war since 2023. They said that the bombing of the Torah market was a horrific massacre that has also left hundreds injured. There have been videos on social media, some by army rivals, that's the RSF. They are accusing the RSF of sponsoring some videos that are making the rounds on social media. The videos showed smoke, ruins of the market stalls, and the bodies that were charred beyond recognition, that were destroyed, that were burned beyond recognition. Anyway, a spokesperson from the military, as I mentioned earlier, said it was not a targeted attack. It was not about civilians. They said they only attacked legitimate hostile targets. And now you want to wonder, how are people in a market going about their lives, just selling, trading? You know what happens normally inside of market? How do you describe them as legitimate hostile targets? Could they have been hostile, or was it about an information gone wrong or something? Well, we know that the Sudanese Armed Forces and RSF have repeatedly been accused of shelling civilian areas. There have been attacks, there have been counterattacks, but we know when two elephants fight, it's the ground that usually suffers. So this face-off between the RSF and the Sudanese Armed Forces have only led to loss of more lives and just more lives. We know that, of course, the RSF has deployed drones in Darfur region, but the army has the warplanes and regularly strikes RSF positions across the region. So what they are arguing is that whenever there's an airstrike targeted at RSF and civilians are caught in the war, well, apologies, but they had to do what they had to do. There is an activist group, the Darfur Initiative for Justice and Peace. They said it happened in a way that it could be described as the deadliest single bombing since the beginning of the war in 2023. Civilian deaths in bombing and shelling attacks have intensified in recent months, and we've been giving you update here on News from Across Africa. We know also that the fighting has escalated in the region so far. 12 million Sudanese people have had to run away from their homes. I mentioned this yesterday as well, that it's also equivalent to what is going on in other parts of Africa. And do you know that there are some countries that 12 million is the sum up of the total number of inhabitants that they have? So, for instance, if we say 12 million Sudanese people have had to leave their homes, we're saying that a full country, that's a full entire representation of the population of an entire country, has had to leave. Just the last report on this particular news. We're hearing that the United Nations have described what is going on in Sudan as the world's most humanitarian crisis. So moving on now from Sudan, let's see what is going on in other parts of Africa. Burundi's president granted an interview to BBC. Did you see that? Did you watch it? Anyway, he said that he has seen credible intelligence that Rwanda is planning to attack his country, Burundi. He said that Rwanda has tried to launch a coup a decade ago, and it's akin to what is going on in DRC right now. Remember that fingers have pointed at Rwanda and the role that they are playing in what's going on in DRC, the attacks in the country, the takeover by the M23 rebels, the sponsoring, the funding. Rwanda's name has come up too often. Anyway, Evariste Ndayishimiye, who is the president of Burundi, has said that Rwanda has already hit back, and he's called the president's comment really surprising. Anyway, they are neighbors. and there are plans to see that security is another rebel group, which the president of Burundi has said is a proxy force that is similar to the M23 rebels and is being supported by the people of Rwanda and the government of Rwanda to destabilize Burundi. Accusations there. But what we know for a fact is that the president of Rwanda has said this is very untrue. In fact, he said it is surprising. And the president of Rwanda is also insisting that Burundi and Rwanda are cooperating on security plans for their shared border. If you know the news, that's if you know what's going on around the region, you would also know that the border between Burundi and Rwanda has been shut for over a year now. And as they say, no smoke without fire, right? So when a full president of one country comes out with his full chest to accuse the president of another country, a neighboring country, I think attention is to be paid. In fact, he was quoted as saying, "We are calling on our neighbors to respect the peace agreement that we have. There is no need for us to go to war. We want dialogue, but we will not sit idle if we are attacked. We don't have anything to ask of Rwanda in return, but they refuse because they have a bad plan. They wanted to do what they are doing in DRC. Let it not happen in Burundi." That's what the president of Burundi was quoted as saying. Please, let it not deteriorate. The crisis in DRC is not about the people, it's about the minerals. He also said that. He said the solution is to bring all parties to the table, including all opposition political parties and armed groups, who must sit together and see how they can create the best future for the people, because in the end, the people is what matters. Okay. But talking of peace talks, remember that there were supposed to be some talks in Luanda, Angola, but that broke down because M23 rebels just about the time they were supposed to go. In fact, what's it called now? What's it called? When people go ahead of you, what are those? I can't remember the word. But what I'm trying to say is representatives of the M23 rebels had gone ahead to Luanda. Representatives of the government of DRC had also gone ahead to Luanda in Angola for them to have the peace talks. And then they heard about these sanctions from EU on M23 rebel leaders, and they said no, they're not going to be a part of that conversation again. And that was how that peace talk just broke down. And so they're maintaining status quo of the war in DRC right now. Burundi is crying out now and say, please, let what is going on in DRC not happen in Burundi. Because we're not able to handle that if it ever does happen. Moving on now, let's come to another related matter. We've been talking about DRC and what's going on there. Remember that beyond the war, we've talked about how that a mysterious illness had killed more than 50 people earlier this year. Yeah, so the earlier report was that catching the disease to the materialization of symptoms was always a span of about 48 hours. Anyway, health officials in DRC have confirmed that mysterious illness that we're making reference to is actually malaria. The National Public Health Institute announced that tests have been carried out and they've confirmed that the disease that caused the death of the 52 people and affected nearly 1,000 others in the Equateur region or the province in DRC is actually malaria. Symptoms include fever, fatigue, vomiting, weight loss. It was initially suspected to be food poisoning. I keep making reference to how that we've talked about these issues. That's why you need to be keeping tabs. You need to keep up with me, all right? When I'm talking news from across Africa, because when we talked about food poisoning, remember that there was also a report that a particular river may have been poisoned, whether it was by natural causes or by human causes. We're not sure what. Well, all the conspiracy theories have been put to rest. They said, hey, what we know by official reports, emphasis on that, by official reports, because sometimes the official report may not actually represent what is. So they can say that 52 people have died when we have a higher number. You know what I mean? So by the official reports from the health officials in DRC, actually, particularly the National Public Health Institute, they said it is malaria, and we're sticking to that story. So from DRC, let's see what we can get from Congo. The Eastern African Community, known as the EAC, something like we have about ECOWAS for West African Community, Economic Communities of West African States, that's ECOWAS. Something like that for East Africa is the East African Community. And of course, another one is for Southern Africa, countries like Lesotho, South Africa, what's it called now? What are those names from South African countries though? Anyway, the Southern African Development Community, they've expanded the team of mediators that could talk for the Congo, Motlanthe, and Central African Republic ex-president Catherine Samba-Panza. They were added on the team. So this means that the group has been enlarged to 5. It was 3. So they now they enlarge it to 5, and they argue that it is to improve gender, regional, and language inclusivity, according to a communique that was issued after the summit. I mean, with people like this, we can only hope for the very best. We're looking forward to, seeing that these meetings, talks, and all of that would lead to final peace at the end of the day in DRC. Away from that now, let's see the final story we can take from South Africa. So, U.S. President Donald Trump has been going on how that the white people in South Africa are being persecuted, that there was an attack on the white minority in South Africa. Anyway, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, has said that the claims that white people are being persecuted in South Africa is a completely false narrative. This is yet another one of his responses, because he's tried what he can. I know that I've been following the story. When the thing started, very light speculations here and there, he was clear. He said, no, that's not true. He tried to say that using the media to explain to the U.S. government that no, there is nothing like an attack on the white minority in South Africa. But that fell on deaf ears. And everything that has happened. The expulsion of a South African ambassador to USA, out of USA, and all of that, and granting asylum to South Africans or white South Africans who may be interested in moving to USA for political asylum and all of that. Everything that has happened over time. All right. And once again, the president has said that what is being peddled is not true. Yes. He said it is not true. Anyway, it was in his weekly message to the nation that the president said, South Africans should not allow external events to divide the people or pit them against each other, that is, white against black or black against white. In particular, a quote now, we should challenge the completely false narrative that our country is a place where people of a certain race or culture are targeted for persecution. Well, just to mention though, he did not call any names. He was just about saying whatever they are saying is not true. That Afrikaners, that's of people of Dutch descent in South Africa, have been targeted. His own is that he was just saying it is not true. Whoever is saying what, please, we're not saying, oh, you said, oh, you did not say. What we know is that South African president is saying these things are not correct. 7:54 a.m. Citizen FM 93.7. We keep fighting for a better continent, Africa. We need to do better for ourselves, for our people. Let the wars stop. If it's not war, it's disease. If it's not disease, it's this. It's not this, it's that. Accusations here and there. We'll round off now We'll come back top of the hour, 8 o'clock, with newspaper headlines from across Nigeria. As usual, we have all the papers, or at least as many as we can. I'll be looking at them. This is Miriam Makeba with Aluta Continua.
My people, open your eyes and answer the call of the drum. Frelimo, Frelimo, Samora Machel, Samora Machel has come. Maputo, Maputo, home of the brave, our nation will soon be as one. Frelimo, Frelimo, Samora Machel, Samora Machel has one. Mozambique, aluta continua, aluta continua, continua. 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 And to those who have given their lives, praises to thee, husbands and wives, all thy children shall reap what you've sown. This continent is a home. My brothers and sisters,